Welcome back. We're Dre and Wiley from Sus to Sandals, and in today's episode, we finally make it to the southern tip of the Baja Peninsula, where we check out things to do in Los Cabos area.
So this week's episode is going to be less of a story and more of things to do in Cabo area, and we have two special guests. I know we haven't had any guests on our vlogs yet, and my mom and dad are flying in from Western New York, gonna spend the week with us, and we're gonna do a bunch of touristy things in Los Cabos area.
So we are currently going to have some lunch at Acre, which is a farm-to-table restaurant outside of San Jose del Cabo. This farm-to-table restaurant serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner and is by reservation only. The presentation of the food was beautiful with vibrant colors and textures and is definitely worth checking out.
Very good burger. Top notch, just like a top notch burger in the US.
How was the ceviche?
Good. Interesting.
Mine was very good, but they only gave me a baby portion. I had a little tiny chicken sandwich. 2 pieces like this. But the Brussels sprouts were delicious.
I had a tostada with some whitefish on it, and it was very good.
Based on how much we enjoyed the entrees, it only made sense to try the desserts as well. After lunch, one of the employees offered to take us for a quick tour of the grounds to see the layout of the resort and where some of the fruits and vegetables that we just ate for lunch were grown.
All right. Just got done our experience at Acre, and it is an experience. It's not just a place to come for dinner. It's a place to come and walk around and explore and see what they're up to, as well as get some top-notch food.
So if you are worried about your budget, come for lunch instead of dinner. It's a little bit cheaper, and you can still get a taste of how good the food is. So that's what we did.
Yeah, and we did look at the dinner menu, and it's a little intimidating if you just look at it for prices. But we're generally not high-end diners, so we're kind of plain Jane and boring when it comes to that stuff. Yeah, it's worth it. It's a really neat place. It's a different spin on what we've been used to in Baja, so if you can, check it out.
So the exciting thing about this for the animal lovers is that they have 2 donkeys and what they're calling a sanctuary. So we're gonna go check that out right now. It looked like they had some chickens over there, some bunnies, and puppies.
The donkeys, a horse, and apparently a camel as well.
And a peacock.
And we saw a peacock just wandering around the grounds. So let's go see what we can find. There's a lot going on right now. Birds, goats, donkey. There's a pig back there. Coming through.
One of the best parts about this place is they have a puppy petting area. So I'm going in. Even if you aren't into farm animals and puppies, the grounds are perfectly manicured and an enjoyable walk around the resort. Acre also has tree houses that can be rented if you're looking for some unique accommodations while in Cabo. If you don't mind getting up early, we recommend going to Cabo San Lucas and chartering a fishing boat for half a day or full day. We left before the sunrise from the marina, and this fishing trip ended up being way more than that.
And we're off. We're about to go do some deep sea fishing in Cabo San Lucas. So sun's just coming up. Hopefully we catch something. This guy knows how to fish. Dre and I, not so much, but it's gonna be a good time.
We saw the famous arch from the boat as the sun was coming up. Soon after we left the mouth of the marina, we were catching fish. A lot of them. All bonita fish, which for their size put up quite a fight and took a bit of strength to reel in. We were hoping for some mahi or marlin, but didn't have that kind of luck. But this was still a great day on the water. In between catching several fish, at times we found ourselves distracted by the sound of the humpback whales coming to surface to breathe not far from our boat, and the tail smack of another one. We also had a large pod of dolphins pass by. Little did we know that we had some stiff competition for the fish that we were catching. What seemed to be out of nowhere, a couple sea lions quickly realized that we caught a lot of fish too. These sneaky creatures were chasing our fish on the lines and eating all but the heads by the time we could reel them into the boat. We would have had 3 extra bonita if it wasn't for the sea lions stealing them. Just as we were getting back to the mouth of the marina, we had one last visitor. A sea lion hopped a ride on the back of the boat and refused to hop off until we paid one last fish toll. At the end of the trip, the crew filleted some of the bonita for us to take. A local restaurant near where my parents were staying prepared the bonita 2 different ways and made some delicious sides, so we enjoyed our fresh caught fish that same evening.
All right, so today's adventure is a quick tour to the Arch, El Arco, Land's End, Cabo San Lucas.
If fishing isn't your thing and you just want to see the iconic Cabo Arch, you can take a water taxi from Cabo San Lucas Marina. For $8 a person, we took a panga out to see the arch and stopped at Pelican Rock, which is a good spot to dive and snorkel. Our panga had a glass bottom boat, so we were able to see what kind of fish are in the area as we cruised by. It's impressive to see just how rugged the rocks and cliff formations are at the end of the peninsula.
Hi guys, we're in San Jose del Cabo Thursday night at the Art Walk. A lot of people, a lot of things to do and see. We're having a great time.
As my mom mentioned, if you're looking for something to do in town, every Thursday night in San Jose del Cabo, there's an art walk. Located in the center of the historic district, you can enjoy local artist paintings, crafts, and some local street food. We took an Uber down so we didn't have to deal with the parking and the traffic because, as you can see, it's a very popular night to be in downtown.
Currently standing in line for fresh made churros. I'm excited.
We also just got some champorado.
I don't even know where to start. Got a Mexican street corn, elotes. Cheese, butter, mayonnaise, hot sauce. I've already had it. I know it's good.
If you want to get a little taste of what the Baja 1000 is all about, you can rent some off-road vehicles. We rented from G-Force Adventures for our off-road tour to ride on some UTV side-by-sides. G-Force privately owns the land, so only their vehicles are on the course. We had 4 other side-by-sides on our tour, which starts at their check-in location, then goes miles through the desert with narrow roads and at times deep sand, and then ultimately ends up on the beach.
Next stop,
A la playa.
There we ripped around a bit before coming back to headquarters. Don't bother wearing any nice clothes because you get very dusty and sandy by the end of the tour.
Kick the tires and light some fires. Woo!
see right where the seatbelt was.
Can't come to Baja and not do a 4x4 adventure. Good times.
A lot of fun. Very dirty, dusty, but a lot of fun.
If you got problema to dance, this is the one you need. Okay?
There was also a tequila tasting at the end of the tour explaining the origin of tequila and how the different types are made, which was very interesting and delicious.
How'd it go?
Smooth.
Good. All right, so we just parked and just paid our entrance fee. We are at Sol de Mayo, which I believe is the name of the ranch, and we are going to the waterfall, Cascada de la Zora, and apparently there's a nice little pool we can enjoy and a nice little waterfall as well. Let's see who's going in the water. Usually I'm a no. All depends on the temperature. And when you park, it looks like it's about a 2/10 of a mile walk to the waterfall, so very close, very accessible. I don't think it's a difficult trail at all, so hopefully everybody can enjoy. So the walk down is a little rocky, so be prepared for that. We can hear water. I can see a waterfall. It's coming. So they definitely did some work chiseling some rock and putting in some stairs. I won't call this an easy walk. I'm in sandals, but be aware, it's not flat. It's a little rocky, a little steep, but worth it.
If you have a little more time and a rental vehicle, we recommend checking out the Sierra de la Laguna region. About an hour and a half from Los Cabos, this area gives you the opportunity to see a very different landscape compared to most of Baja. This region is lush with fresh water, waterfalls, hot springs, and a bunch of greenery.
And we're in the water, Canyon de la Zora. It's a wee bit crispy, so I'm not going to be in here for very long.
It's not that bad.
But it's beautiful.
So about 15 to 20 minutes away from the waterfall, if you have your own vehicle, you can drive to the thermals, which are hot springs, and it is on the Santa Rita Ranch. And because we did it in the same day, we still have our Sierra Laguna bracelets, so we saved 50 pesos per person because we kept our bracelets, and so it was 100 pesos for the ranch.
Santa Rita Hot Springs. So if you walk just up the river, I'm going to call it, from the hot spring, there's a really neat area to play around in and swim. And just around the corner where Dre just went, there's a little waterfall that you can take a peek at. You can climb in the water over there and swim all the way to here. And I guess some kids were jumping off the rocks. Looks fairly deep, so cool spot.
Hi, buddy. Yeah, hi. Monkey on the loose.